Hi guys, so this is basically going to be a video of me going through the current status of micro SD cards in the UK and the US, and what you should be looking for, and sort of prices that are available for you for your Nintendo Switch. So if you're running SXOS, you're probably going to need quite a lot of space. With all your backups, you're going to need all your games on there, but generally the Switch has the ability to hold loads of games with being able to download online all your games, and with the SXOS you can have all your backups with you. You can have more than one card instead of having to carry around loads of individual cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go through the sort of four most popular types that are out on the market in the UK and the US, and their sort of price range they're at the moment. These prices are all off Amazon. The reason I'm using Amazon is it is a trusted and reputable seller that if you have any problems you can get a refund or send it back. Problem is with eBay, you can get a lot of scammers on there. People send in fake cards, and basically the micro SD card market is flooded with fakes. Cards that say you've got 512 gigabytes, you plug them in, your computer says it's got 512 gigabytes, but it's got something like 500 gigabytes of corrupted data which cannot be formatted, cannot be changed. It's a fake card. It's really easy to manipulate the PCs to think it's got so much. There is software available that proves real memory available on cards, but sticking to these makes and off a proper seller like Amazon instead of eBay, you're probably going to get a better deal, and you're going to make sure you get a legitimate product. So basically it's three products I trust. I trust SanDisk mostly. I've always used SanDisk. They're very good, very high quality cards, very fast. They also have quite a long warranty. I believe it's around 10 years. So I've had it before. One of my SD cards got corrupted completely, could not read, could not write to it, and I just sent it to them and they sent me a brand new one within a week or so. Really easy to fill in a form online. Samsung is another one that make decent quality cards, not as many variants in sizes as SanDisk. They're always good price though for what they are, and high quality once again. Integral are another make. They do two versions, high speed and not high speed. I've chosen not high speed because I presume people are looking for cheaper quality cheaper price cards if they're coming to this video. And the problem is with Integral, they're really easy to fake as well. So if you go buy off Amazon. And last but not least is SanDisk actually have officially licensed Nintendo Switch micro SD cards. They are no different than the other micro SD cards Ultra. They're just branded with these sort of Nintendo logos and the Nintendo Switch on them, and they have a premium price to reflect that. So real quickly, these are the available SanDisk Ultra prices, sizes at the moment. In this column here we have the recommended retail price of them and the current price as of 10th of March 2020 as to what they are. And over here, this is the price per gigabyte. So the cheapest amount, the most amount of storage you're going to get for the cheapest or most affordable price is this one here, is 12 pence per gigabyte. So at the moment the price is £50 for a 400 gigabyte card. It's really good. They have been, I believe, maybe 100 quid, maybe more. I cannot remember the exact price, but that is the highest amount of storage you're going to get for that price. The reason I'm also showing you another one here is at the moment it's 14 pence per gigabyte for a 200 gigabyte card. A lot of people might be dubious about going too big on the sizes here, and for a good reason. SXOS can corrupt your card. Constantly pulling a card out of your Switch and back in can corrupt it. So your best, well, not your best option, but what I recommend is probably, and if you don't mind it, getting a couple of smaller cards, a couple of 200 gigabytes, maybe 256 gigabyte cards. The reason being, if something corrupts and goes wrong, you haven't got to wipe that card and back up in a huge amount of data, which is why I highly recommend staying away from the 1 terabyte card. 512, it's a bit expensive. £85 for a card is a lot. I don't know if you have this sort of flush money. £400 for a terabyte is just atrocious anyway, pricing. But these sort of prices aren't too bad, £80. But at the moment, the sweet point is the 400GB card. At £50, it's a very good price point for it. But like I said, if that corrupts, you have to go and find 400GB of data from your PC, from all your backups, and you're going to have to copy those over all again. It could be slow, could be arduous. So you might be better off getting these 200GB cards. You might only need one. Depends on how many backups you have and how willing you are to swap cards in and out. But don't go for these sizes. They are far too small. You're going to fill them up real quick. Yes, they're super cheap. If you want to have 20 cards hanging around with 32GB, it's not worth it. It's you're going to be swapping in and out loads. But down here, these sort of free cards are where I would are the sweet point at the moment. It's a really good price point for a 400GB, but it depends on if you've got that sort of money. If you're not, you only want to go 200GB for now, you can do that. Keep your backups on your PC and swap and change as what sort of games you're playing. Real quick, let's pop over to Samsung. They only have 5 variants, and here are the price points here. Their best value one is 256GB. It's 15 pence per gigabyte. So it's around the same for the SanDisk 256 one. I think it's £1 cheaper. But what good reputable seller, and depends if you want a Samsung one instead of a SanDisk. I don't know why you would, but people have loyalty to certain brands. Integral, they are cheaper. I'm not going to lie to you. So a 256 card is £9 cheaper than Samsung or SanDisk. But they're just it's not a high-speed card. You might have problems with buffering or stuttering or games just freezing completely, and you might also have corruptness on it. They're just not as high quality, which is why the price point reflects that. Official SanDisk, there is no need to get one of these unless you want to basically show off to people, or you want to claim you have an official Nintendo one. They are exactly the same as these cards up here, they're just priced more. So a 128GB card is the best price point, but over here you can see it's $16.79 and here it's $22.27. So there's no need to get one of these. I don't understand why they exist at all. It's just shameless merchandising on SanDisk and Nintendo Switch's behalf, just to lure people in. Go for a Nintendo SanDisk Ultra up here, much cheaper. So 256 is what I said. They're the good sort of good size that you want to go for. 56.89 there, and it's £39, £17 cheaper for the same size, without that branding on. It's going to be in your Switch anyway. You're not going to see it. So that is the UK's price point. This is all off Amazon as of the 10th of March 2020. Loads of options to look at, and I've just highlighted in green the best price point for each one. But if I will probably be buying this 400GB one just because it's a really good price. I might wait for it to drop around the 45 price, just to get my best value for money there. But once again, like I said, going higher than that, 512 and a terabyte, is a lot of data to copy over. So when it does corrupt, or if it does corrupt I should say, I'm going to have to copy over loads of information again, and I'm going to also have to have 400GB backed up on a PC somewhere. So I'm using storage both on my PC and my card, which could be frustrating. But if you have loads of backups, then that is the price we're going to have to pay for living this life. So I'm just going to go down to US prices now. So just in case you came for the US prices, I'll quickly do Samsung because they literally have one size. I don't know if Samsung are not popular in the US, but they only seem to have one size on Amazon. You might be able to get them elsewhere, but at the moment they only have 120GB. So 20 cents is around, I think, 14 pence. So let's have a look over here, and it's actually cheaper in the US for a Samsung. Great. SanDisk, once again, they've got loads of sizes, but the real good one here I find is 200GB at 13 cents. That's about 9p a gigabyte. That is much cheaper than anything the UK is paying. Unfortunately, in the UK, shipping over just costs too much, so there's no point doing it. You'll end up paying more in import fees than you would to getting yourself a bargain. So don't think about that, guys. I'm really sorry. Their terabyte is almost half the price of ours, but that is a huge amount of storage that could get corrupted and you're going to lose. If I was in the US, I'd probably buy 2 of these to get 400 gigabytes and swap over, depending on what type of game I'm playing and what sort of mood I'm in. SD cards, they're real small. You can carry them around in your Switch carry case, and you can swap over. Just have the same version of SXOS installed on both. Just your boot.dat file, and you're good to go. You're not going to notice any changes. It's going to show when you plug the SD card in, the games that are on that SD card by the little, and the ones that aren't will have the little download symbol. Just swap over to another SD card, job's done. It's a really good price point. That, and it's probably the cheapest I've seen a 200 gigabyte card, around 9 pence per gigabyte. It's not exactly expensive, so 14 cents per gigabyte is probably around 10 pence, maybe a little bit cheaper, much cheaper than the UK once again, but we can't all import it. So stick with SanDisk. Kingston is the US's version of Integral, I believe. I haven't changed the picture over here, my apologies. They are cheap. They're not as cheap as SanDisk. You just stick with the SanDisk because they are a reputable name that you know you can trust, and you're going to get your money's worth, and you're going to get that protection from buying from them. And once again, I've just shown the official SanDisk over here, official Nintendo SanDisk ones. So 128 gigabyte is 20 cents, 120 gigabyte is 15 cents per gigabyte. You're looking at a 25% markup just for having that logo on it. I don't understand why they exist. Well, I do for merchandising reasons, but I don't understand why people would be buying them. So unfortunately in the US, your options are a little bit more limited for some reason by purchasing from Amazon. But SanDisk is where you want to stick with this. These are really good prices. Don't go these for free. I've just shown them because people, I'm sure, would ask. The price per gigabyte isn't worth it compared when you go further down. Once again, 200, 256 and 400 gigabyte is the sweet spot for getting your most amount of storage for a decent price point. This tends to happen with storage as technology grows and changes. The smaller sizes get cheaper, and that is where the sweet point is. It is not worth for SanDisk to make these anymore, but obviously there is a certain market for them for certain products. I'm just want to really quickly show you one website, and that is CamelCamel. So this is CamelCamel.com. You can do the UK one, which is uk.camelcamel.com, and this is a price tracker for Amazon products. You can type in an Amazon product. You can then enter your email here, what price you want, and then here you can. It gives you a couple of options, but if you wanted it at £45, you could write £45 there, or $45. And so I want a 400 gigabyte at around £45. That's what I said earlier. So there we go, 10% off what it currently is. I can set that, send the tracker, and I will get an email the second that hits that price. I can then purchase it. Down here, there's usually a picture of a chart of its pricing, when it has gone up and down. For some reason, it's not shown on my PC. I do not know why. But a bit further down here, we can see the Amazon price history. There are third-party prices. I would stick away from them. Like I said, you're going to get your protection with Amazon. So the highest this has ever been, I said £100 earlier, it was actually £228. That was November 17. Obviously when the technology first came out for that size, it would have been a premium product, which is why it's so high. It's currently at $49.99, but it has gone down to $43.29. Like I said, that £45 price mark in December for a Christmas sale, obviously. But I will probably be looking at this one here. So the lowest price point has been $43.29. It will hit that price again, and that's where I think is a very good price for that sort of size, 400 gigabytes. But use this website if you plan on buying an SD card and you think it's a little bit expensive at the moment, or quite a bit out of your budget. Come and put a price tracker on here. All you do is just copy the product name in and select it. As you can see, 400 gigabyte was the one I chose here, for instance. It shows you the current Amazon price, a direct link straight to the product. Here is your price watch that you can create, and create as many as you want. It's a free to use website. And then further down you can see its history of highest, current and lowest. The average price is around £62. Obviously it was a little bit higher there, but that price is from the last 50 changes, as you can see here. So it's gone up and down 50 times and it's stuck around the £62 mark. That will obviously be different for the US, but whatever you're looking for, this is a really good website. So real quick, I'll just go back here. This is in case you want to take a quick screenshot of this, of the US prices, so you know what you're looking for. And this is the UK ones here. 400 gigabytes, the best price at the moment, and it will inevitably drop. It might have already dropped by the time this video comes out, but because I did this at the beginning of, or the end of last week, and they were all higher priced than this. Samsung have, SanDisk have had a price drop, and they all changed, so I had to change everything again. But I did this because I thought there might be a few people out there who are really looking for some information on it at a glance without having to do all the legwork. Stick to SanDisk, maybe Samsung if you have those options, but SanDisk at the moment, they are the leaders in the SD market, and they're really reliable and trustworthy. Anyway guys, I know I've gone on a little bit. This video is hitting about 16-17 minutes at the moment. I just really want to make it clear of why my motivation came to this and my understanding of it. Happy shopping out there guys. Thank you.